Whoa! Thank you. You scoundrel over there.
I know.
I see you.
I know.
Very big breasts, that one.
Are we already going to start there?
He's a good guy over there.
Yeah. So, this is Gourmet Scum Radio.
Gourmet Scum in live action.
Exactly.
Sorry for you folks listening to the podcast, but this is you got a double thing going on here, folks.
So, we've had a podcast for the last 3.5 years. This is our 100th episode of the podcast, and our first episode of the live action show.
Yeah.
So
for the Warlock Home Video Network, which
exactly.
you're watching this on right now.
Yes, yeah. So thank you guys for all tuning in. Hopefully we saw some of you at the live Q&A, and we talked a little bit about the shows. But here you are.
Yeah, we're here.
So for you who are just tuning in to the Warlock Home Video Network, and maybe some of you who are just listening for the first time, we're going to give you a little breakdown of who we are, and what we do, and all that fun stuff. And then the main crux of the episode is about the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes. The road to Infinity War.
Yeah. This episode will be airing 2 days before Infinity War. So you can, if you're watching this the night of that we release, well, I guess they know. They already know what it is.
Yeah.
It's no spoiler alert. You're watching it. We're recording this a while back, just so you guys know. But yeah, you'll be seeing Infinity War. You can watch this. You can hear our ideas on each of the movies, and that's it. So I'm Casey Bowker.
Chris Seaver.
And we're related. We're cousins.
That's right. We are, folks.
I know.
We
look
really are.
exactly alike.
Our fathers are brothers.
Yes. So we've known each other for a while. And I can't remember why we started doing a podcast. I guess maybe because I did one, and then I was like, let's do this one.
Like, because we always talked about geeky crap anyway, It was like, let's record it, you know? I mean,
let's just
podcasting was like a huge, it was really blowing up, and everybody, their brothers to their mothers, mothers to brothers, brothers to mothers, was creating a podcast. So I think,
here we are.
Yeah. Somebody out there wanted to listen to us.
Yeah, and thank you guys, as we say on the podcast, we thank you, all the time for listening, enjoying on your poop, or your ride home, or wherever you do
therapy sessions.
Yes, this is their therapy session, and ours. So, we're used to being in front of the camera.
Yes.
Chris has been making movies for 26 years.
Yeah, more than half of my life.
Yeah.
Yes. And he's been in them since he was 16, 15, something like that.
Yeah.
From a young age. And, we got lucky here and there throughout the years, and some of our stuff is out there in the world and has been out there since like 2000, even before that, 1993.
Yeah.
The first part of LBP, Low Budget Pictures, that stuff was put out through Cemetery Cinema, so that stuff's been out there. So people, you fans who like our stuff, you've been with us for a long time, and we've been out in the ether for a long time. And,
a very long time. Yeah.
And now this is just another creative expression.
Another bad creation.
Another bad creation, yes. It's going to be multi-platinum. We're coming back. We're bringing ABC back.
Maybe on Aircraft from the... Aircraft from the 80s, yes.
Well, it was 90s. It was,
okay.
ABC was 90s, but we certainly can talk about ABC on this show.
We will.
If we want to.
Will. So, if you're interested in learning about the movies, there will be at least 2 videos up of a retrospective with Chris and I, where we go through kind of a history of LBP and Warlock Home Video before it became this network. And are those out? Will those be out?
I don't know.
Afterwards?
I don't know.
Okay.
There's,
there'll be
a lot of editing to do, folks.
Yes. So Chris is on all of the shows as well as editing most of the shows as well. So busy guy. But we're going to get into what we do here. So, as we said, we're both really big geeks. This is our geeky pop culture show. So a lot of it's our history with geekiness, really. Like, we do talk about the news, but we usually go off on tangents and talk about how it relates to us back when we were kids and how it is now and how our wives get involved in it as well. We drag them to our geeky world in sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be some debates, some healthy,
I'm sure.
healthy arguments. I mean, we were both, we both have the things that we love,
Yeah.
the things that we don't love.
Yeah.
We have our opinions, and I certainly have no shortage of. No,
you don't. But we have fun with it, and we'll have guests on as well, either here, right here, or even online. We'll have some call-ins, and we'll do some interviews, and we'll do some probably toy hunts and
little
conventions.
There'll be collection videos.
Oh yeah.
Again, for all the shows that are coming onto the network, which you can see now as they're launched.
They're all there.
Each one of them will have their own, subsection of stuff that will go up on the channel. That's like collection video or toy hunt, toy haul, something like that. That says like, A Crep from the 80s presents, Chris's movie collection or whatever, that type of thing. Gourmet Scum will also have that.
Yes, absolutely. We have 99 other podcast episodes too if you want to go back through the last 3.5 years and listen to us as well. But going forward, it will be an audio show as well as this live action that you're getting. Yeah. So what we do every episode, as we've this is all new, how we're changing the format a little bit. We're going to talk about geeky stuff. So movies. Are you going to do something? Movies. Television. Comic books. Toys. And that's it. And then maybe like movie trailers and other things like that. Maybe video games here and there.
I think those reaction videos seem to be a big thing nowadays, and
we do like to react to stuff all the time.
And I think it would be kind of fun here and there if we did one of those here on the show. Reacting to a trailer or whatever. Maybe a song, something, whatever, and getting our fresh.
Can you hear that?
Real takes, So.
Yeah. So I got a little bit of news that I want to talk about. A little bit of movie news before we get into some other geeky stuff. But so Colin Trevorrow named for director of Jurassic World 3, because he got kicked off of Star Wars for sucking too bad.
He was the director of Jurassic World.
He was, which is a
and
fine
then Lucasfilm brought him on board to do Episode 9, Star Wars Episode 9. Fired him. And I guess now he's doing Jurassic World 3.
He's going back to the well.
Even though Jurassic World 2 hasn't come out yet.
Yes.
Fallen Kingdom.
And it could be good, it could be bad.
Oh.
I don't like the first Jurassic World. I don't know if it's necessarily a Colin Trevorrow thing. I did like, what was his time travel movie? Whatever. Seeking a Friend at the End of the Earth? Or...
No. It was...
Safety Not Guaranteed.
Yes.
That was very good movie.
I like that movie.
Didn't watch the Book of Henry. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care to watch it either. It's got my cup of Ecto Cooler.
Yeah. But the Star Wars thing we heard... We're huge Star Wars fans. We talk about Here's the thing. We talk about Star Wars every single episode.
Yeah.
Whether we like things or not, it doesn't matter. It comes in, it's almost like Seinfeld. It comes up every day in conversation somehow. But every episode, I know, we have talked about Star Wars. We have
amongst other things, like, Japanese funk and things like that.
We definitely like that. Yep. Gothic reggae music.
The waves of the future.
Really. But what do you think, Colin Trevorrow going back to Jurassic World?
I don't know. Who cares? I think it's like, why even announce it?
Especially with the second
does anybody
movie
care? You know what I mean? Like,
well, of course.
Who was going to be like, woo! You know, like, he's back on 3! You know, they haven't even put out 2 yet. It's just weird. It was a weird, like, so what? That was my, like, I was just kind of like, like, I didn't care.
I wanted to know what your reaction. For me, especially, I go, are you really doing this now? You're really announcing this now? And I read a really good article, and I wish I could find it again, but it was talking about how they didn't think Jurassic Park was a sustainable franchise, and yet we are making it one because they make money.
Yeah.
But the concept, and we've talked, well, if you listen to the podcast, we've talked about it many times, how it's like, the first one is it. Every idea past that really doesn't need to happen. Like, it doesn't make any sense why you would continue to go back to this island, or at least, like, especially this new one, it's like, you gotta save Blue? Like, really?
I certainly love dinosaurs, though.
I love dinosaurs.
So that's why I keep watching.
But show me this. Show me dinosaurs, like that concept.
Make Dino Riders.
Make Dino Riders.
The 80s toy line.
Yeah. I would watch the heck out of that. or what Vincent D'Onofrio was saying, like, put a guns on a Velociraptor and put them out in a war. I would watch that movie every day.
Well, lots of people wouldn't.
The first one I would.
Who are snobby. Who don't love awe-inspiring, cool visuals like that to see.
They don't want to see a human being riding. There's a video game
Machine Guns.
Has Katie played this? Ark Survival whatever?
I don't know.
It is like you like crash land on this island, and it's all dinosaurs.
She hasn't played it yet.
So the only reason I have not played it is because it does not go below like $50, and I'm like, I don't know, but then everyone loves it. Everyone who plays it loves it. But that is, I guess, that game where you're riding dinosaurs, you're taming them, they're shooting things.
I want to see that stuff.
I want to see that. Yeah, turn that. All right, so another big one. We got an image from EW, Bill and Ted. They were back into the phone booth.
Yeah,
Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves.
You know, EW Entertainment Weekly, they do this thing every now and again where they have reunions.
They're always so good.
And they'll bring these awesome people together for these reunions, and they'll have reunion issues. And this,
like my Buffy, I don't know where it is.
This was part of it. A Bill and Ted. I saw there was like Dawson's Creek.
I saw Dawson's Creek,
which I don't care about, but
I did.
Bill and Ted, I totally care about. Yeah. And they've been trying to make this third movie for over 10 years.
And it makes no sense that it's not made. Like, like, there's a script. The writer comes out. Yep, we got an idea. They're older. They're dealing with it.
Both the writers.
Yeah, and it's like, they want it. Clearly they want it.
Keanu and Alex are all about it.
They're take that John Wick, make it for $10 million. You know, don't go crazy.
Yeah, they don't really need to. They don't need
to.
They really don't. And I honestly, I feel this was, in a way to test the
people's reactions.
Because I think they already have it.
Like, made?
No.
Oh.
Greenlit.
Oh, really?
I think they're waiting for the announcement. I really do. I think this is all fortuitous. I think it's all like
what's the year of Bill and Ted? Like, is it an anniversary year or anything like that?
Well, 30 years.
This year?
Well, it was shot in 1987.
Okay.
And it languished until 1989.
Oh. Like 89 is when it hit theaters?
Yes.
So then it could be greenlit with this is the announcement with the 30th anniversary next year. That's when the movie comes out.
I think it's going to shoot this year.
I could see that happening.
And it comes out early next year for the 30th anniversary. I really do. And I think they all know. I think they know. And they're just...
Well, the internet, at least the people I follow, you know, all blew up. Everyone was like, oh my God! Like, I was getting text all yesterday. Like, did you see this picture?
If you're an 80s kid, Bill and Ted is a huge part of your growing up. I saw it twice in theaters, once with my mom and once with my school.
Yeah.
Which I've talked about before on the podcast. We had a... I went to for a, I don't know, maybe 3-year stretch of my school life to a Catholic school. Yeah. And our science and history were sort of kind of the same class.
They were combined. It was like Thor.
And our teacher was like, "We're going to see Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure as a field trip." And this was,
That'd be pretty cool.
I had already seen it with my mom at this point,
yeah.
but we were like, "What excellent!" You know, so we saw it again with the class, a class trip for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Anyway, huge part, and then of course Bogus Journey in '91, huge part of my life. I actually have pictures at our grandmother's house with Lisa and Brian, our cousins, and we're doing Bill and Ted shtick.
Really?
From Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Didn't you do a Bill and Ted movie?
We did. We shot like footage, just fun. Like,
Right.
I was Ted.
Yeah.
You know.
Like you saw yourselves or whatever, right?
I can't remember, but yes,
I remember
we did,
seeing that.
We did do like a Bill and Ted.
Yeah. I remember seeing that footage.
So it was very big in my life. I did have the toys. I actually still have Bill and Ted, the actual Kenner toys that came out. I have the cartoon that came out.
Yep.
There was a Bill and Ted cereal that came out from Ralston.
Did you get that?
Of course.
Or I mean,
do I have
you
it now?
Do you have
I
it?
wish.
Yeah.
I would love to get the box again. I'm sure I will at some point.
Yeah.
But folks, Bill and Ted is awesome, and Bill and Ted 3 is very high up on my list, and I really do think it's happening, and I think we're gonna get it.
Maybe by the time this episode airs, there's an announcement already.
I don't know. But they did say, the writers said that like they expect in the next month or two to have another announcement, and I think,
well, then that would be it. What else are you waiting to tell us?
I think it's this is where it is.
Yeah.
This is when we're shooting. You know.
Or maybe they announce it on the day that they plan on releasing it.
I
in
think,
2019. Maybe like May 30th.
I would like. It feels like a Netflix thing, you know. It does to me because I don't know if releasing it wide, like in theaters, would really do anything.
Netflix, though, you'd get everybody
Netflix,
watching it.
you have Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey already on Netflix.
Yep.
The sky is the limit as far as who can watch this movie.
Right.
And who would watch this movie, you know?
Us.
So I think it's Netflix.
Yeah.
I really do. And that would be awesome.
They didn't look that bad either. 30 years later,
of
they
course
looked
not.
good.
No,
I was like,
you know?
all right.
And the premise is very funny. If you look up the premise, it's you know, it's legit. It seems good. It's where it needs to be. So I like that. And just to hear them still talk, because they said they're still them, just older.
Yeah. So they still talk like,
So, yeah. And they have wives and kids and everything.
Yeah.
So like
that's funny. That's smart.
And
that's the way you do
Bill
it.
Sadler would be coming back as Death. Death is written in the movie, so he would be coming back as Death.
Well, that would
Funny
be
stuff,
even
man.
better.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I know we've talked a lot about Bill and Ted already on this show, but
this is actually a Bill and Ted.
you get me going.
Show.
You know.
I'm in. So
Audacious.
we got announcements a couple weeks ago of all the the two Fox X-Men movies getting pushed back like a year.
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix and New Mutants. We learn that John Hamm was scheduled to be Mr. Sinister in a post-credit sequence in New Mutants. I want to see Mr. Sinister on screen.
I don't even care.
No?
Nah, like none of this stuff. Like
None of these Fox properties?
I don't care because at some point it's all gonna be null and void anyway. So I just don't care.
It's true. They're on their...
They might be cool. That's great.
Yeah.
You know, but as far as like,
I think they're going out on a high note. I think that's their intention is why they're pushing it so far back.
Probably like let's
let's really make them good.
Yeah.
And make sure that people are sad that they're gone.
I guess.
But guess what? As soon as we see one of those X-Men in an Avengers movie, we'll forget that the last 20 years of films existed.
That's true. And
which is sad. Other than Hugh Jackman.
listen, I don't hate that world.
I don't either.
It's just they do their own thing, and that's fine. But when you're a comic fan and you know some of the lore and you know the stories, you want to see that. You want to see what Marvel Studios is doing as far as taking from the source material and then weaving it into a movie story.
Yeah.
Fox just, they don't do that. They just don't care.
And they've had
They're just like,
they've
oh,
had
let's take
times
this
to do it.
random mutant
Yeah.
and throw him in here. Why not? We
Yeah.
haven't seen that mutant yet. Let's throw him in. The story's just... But we get some good X-Men movies. They're just in totally different continuities and universes and things like that, which is fine. But I'm definitely at a point right now where it's just like, I don't care.
Give me the Marvel mutant verse.
Yeah, yeah. Marvel Studios proper.
Yeah.
Get those X-Men.
Soon. Alright, so that's kind of like a little bit of movie stuff. Anything TV related? You ever been watching anything on TV?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I've been watching Riverdale.
Well, we both watch Riverdale.
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 Listen, the whole guilty pleasures thing, I don't subscribe to because...
You like what you like.
Yeah.
It's
if
not
you like a
guilty.
movie, then you like it.
Yeah.
If you don't like a movie, you don't like it, you're not going to watch it. There can be terribleness in the movie that you love, or the TV show that you love, but you still like it. So I don't, and for many, I see the word Riverdale, and immediately after that, guilty pleasure.
Right.
I like it, but I know that I also hate it. That it's bad.
Which is crazy.
But it does it for me. It does it for me. Like I am a purveyor of terrible films, and I love terrible films. This was one of those TV shows that just for some reason hooks me. And I don't know if it's because of my... And it's not even anywhere remotely like the comics that we grew up with,
no.
As far as the Archie comics are concerned.
Just in the well, I mean, there's certain
characters are there, yes.
Characters
and sometimes they'll cherry pick certain elements of personalities.
That's about
and put them in the
Jug,
show.
you always eat.
Like Jughead and his eating and his burgers.
Yeah.
Stuff, which I always snicker at every time. It's
well, it is, Jughead, I guess, I don't know. The world of Archie is ever weaving. I love Riverdale. They keep zigging and zagging.
And there's, and there's a bunch of friggin' like 90s
stars,
pop icons in there that some I loathe, some I'm
Who do you
like, this
loathe?
is rad.
Luke Perry.
I mean, he actually isn't that bad.
He's fine.
And at first I hated Skeet Ulrich as Jughead's dad.
Yeah.
But now I'm a little okay with him. I think he's all right. So I don't know. Oh, Molly Ringwald is
Archie's mom.
Archie's mom, which I think is rad.
That's cool.
I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
Things like that, Alice Cooper, not the artist, not the band, but the character in the show. She was in Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
And she's great in Twin Peaks. She was in Sleepwalkers, Stephen King, Mick Garris' Sleepwalkers. She's great in that movie. And I think she's terribly great in this show.
Really? Oh, terribly great.
Like, she's terrible,
she's
but she's great. But I think that's what
they want. Yeah.
And that's the character, and she's doing it beautifully.
Yeah.
And I hate her.
She's definitely a love-hate character.
So I'm caught up. I'm all caught up on Riverdale. So now I'm watching it as the weeks go by.
Okay, good.
What else am I watching? I'm still hanging on to Walking Dead.
Haven't watched anything from season 10.
Nothing. I think at this point I've come this far.
This long.
I'm not going to give up now, because sometimes you get some really good episodes, and sometimes it's just meh. Who cares?
Yeah.
But those really good episodes make you remember why you loved the show in the first place. So, yeah. So I'm still watching that.
Don't even know.
And folks, Gotham, I love Gotham.
Someday I'll watch Gotham.
This show, I have a kinship with our buddy Chris Walk, because he and I will occasionally pop on the
messenger.
instant messenger and talk to each other about Gotham. It's so fun. And as somebody who doesn't give a shit about DC continuity, from comics to films to TV shows, what have you, this show is like an awesome, like, alternate version.
It's an Elseworlds tale
of the Batman myth,
Yeah.
the Batman legend. It's Bruce Wayne as a kid, and all of the villains throughout Gotham, younger and coming up,
Don't even know.
and turning into who they later become, seeing them grow into the villains that they become. Jim Gordon's journey from cop to commissioner.
Is there an end date? Like, is there a point where it's like, this is the Riddler that I know from the comics? Like, this is the Penguin I know from the comics?
I mean, Riddler is Riddler.
But I'm saying, like, okay.
He is already the Riddler.
So, which is fine. Do they call him the Riddler?
He calls himself the Riddler,
Oh,
and
really?
everyone makes fun of him. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I mean, I guess, like, is it at the point where
there's
this
Crane.
Bat...
I mean, there's Scarecrow in it.
Yeah.
There's Solomon Grundy.
Well, I heard they're doing the Long Halloween this series, which is Jeff Loeb. Great comic. Great comic
so
run of
many,
Batman.
like,
But I'm saying,
cool.
like, once that kid becomes 20 or whatever, is it done? Like, is the show done?
I don't know. I mean, they have already started exploring him and the bat thing.
Okay.
You know?
Has he made a suit?
He has a suit, but
But
it doesn't
it's-
look like a bat.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But they've started to really get into those shadowy, like, bat-like imagery.
Has he
and
met
things
Ra's
like
al
that.
Ghul?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Has he, like,
that's
trained?
the demon's head is like a big part going on right now
Oh my gosh.
in the story.
Yeah.
Barbara Gordon. There's Catwoman. Well, again, Selena. She's.
But
Selena.
she was in. Yeah, she was in the first season, right?
Yeah, but she's all the way through. I mean, and now, you know, they're finally getting into that Joker space where they haven't called him the Joker yet. His name is Jerome, but this guy's the Joker. And the last episode that just aired was like, it was just like, ooh. So
Is there
you
a
know,
Harley?
There, I can't remember. No. I don't think there is a Harley yet.
I mean, I don't.
There was a Harley in the CW universe.
Well,
there's a Harley.
The other Arrow Batman universe.
Yeah.
I remember.
That isn't
I remember
connected.
that.
Again, who cares? I mean,
Right.
they don't even give a shit.
Yeah.
So, but this is Gotham to me is like the Frank Miller version of the CW world because it's grittier, it's more evil. There is blood and violence and all that stuff, but they're still able to bring in that mystical, comic booky, which I love, fantastical element stuff that is from the comics. You know,
So they don't try to. Because I feel
it's
like
grounded, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's some. I mean, especially with Ra's al Ghul and the Demon Head and all that stuff, there is some magic and mysticism going on in this show.
Yeah.
And how they create some of the monster characters. I mean, there was a Clayface, but explored in a different,
Did it look like
grounded
Clayface
way.
from the comic?
Not like that.
He wasn't
no,
a
but it was
huge beast.
no, but it was very cool.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Freeze is in it, and he's great.
I'm a huge Batman fan. Like, big time. I
Yeah.
probably should be watching
I don't
it.
know why this guy.
It's because I started watching it and it just didn't hook me right from the beginning.
it
And
gets
that's
so much better.
Yeah. Alright, I'll binge it.
It's pretty awesome.
So,
I'm watching Gotham.
what you're not watching, which I love, is Black Lightning.
Yeah, I don't.
And I feel like you would because it's actually turning into... It's weird. It's kind of turning into like The Incredibles. Because he's got... I'm spoiling. Just spoiler alert for all of you guys. We don't
hold back.
Yeah, we don't
from
do
spoilers.
that.
every episode is going to be a spoiler episode.
Yes.
For anything geeky.
Which is hard to say because it's not like we announce it. So just, we don't say like we're going to talk about Gotham today, so spoiler alert. We're just going to go right into Gotham and there's going to be spoilers. All I will say is that he's got daughters, he's got powers, they end up getting powers, and like that's something we have not seen on television in a cool way yet. So that's what my wife and I are like, this is cool. And she's like, it's better than Flash. I'm like, it's not better than Flash yet.
The CW shows, I watch Flash and Arrow, and that's about it. But I'm behind on both of those shows because it was like,
They've been good.
Even then it was like, ooh, something's not sitting well with me anymore with the shows. And I love Flash more than all of them.
Yeah.
But I will get back.
Should get back in.
I'll get back into it. I'm not that far behind. I've finished 4, season 4 of both.
Well, Arrow's in 6.
Yeah, I did
Flash is
not
5.
finish 5 of Arrow. I'm in the middle of 5 on Arrow.
Love 5.
Haven't started 5 at all.
Of Flash.
Of Flash. It's 5, right? Yeah,
5 is the...
I finished 4.
5 is the one that's on now.
Yeah, I haven't even started 5
of
Flash. But I will.
Alright, so, that's TV. Comic books. I have something to talk about. Are you reading anything?
No. No, and that's going to be on and off with me. Like, it just depends, because I've stopped doing issues again.
Yeah.
That was always on and off again. So I'll do paperbacks, I'll do trade paperbacks or hardcover graphic novels for the collected issues, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was doing Mask, Mobile Armored Strike Command,
yeah.
the 1985 Kenner toy line and cartoon property, which Hasbro needs to bring back.
They will. They will. They will. You know they will.
But then that stopped and went back into that whole, like, mixing Transformers and Micronauts and G.I. Joe and all that. That's back into that again.
Okay.
It was like a...
So they just
It was a mini-series.
Okay.
And there's 2 trade paperbacks that have that series in them for Mask. But after that, I haven't... You know, from time to time, I will go back and just read old stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Like runs that you've read before.
Yeah, that I just love.
Yeah.
You know, in particular, I always go back to Ultimates 2.
You do love that comic.
I think that, and I have that collected book.
That book is worth... Have you ever looked it up?
No.
It's worth it over $100. It's because they never...
Well, guess what? It's worth it.
They haven't ever done it again. So, Ultimates 2 is my favorite comic book writer, Mark Millar. I can't remember who... Steve McNiven, I think, is on art.
No.
It's not McNiven?
No. It's... What's his name? Who did Ultimates 1? It's Hicks.
Oh, so Jonathan Hicks is the writer.
Brian Hicks or something like that?
Hitch? Brian Hitch.
Hitch. Artist. No, it's an artist. The artist. The artist is the same as Ultimates 1.
Fudge.
But Mark is the writer.
Okay. Basically, what you know from the Marvel Cinematic Universe now is because of, I always say Mark Millar. So artist is Brian Hitch.
Brian Hitch. Yeah.
Brian Hitch.
Hitch, that's who
So what we know now, kind of like is the origin stories of the Avengers, is having to do with the Ultimate Universe reboot that happened in the early 2000s. So if you ever really want to get into some newer comics...
Ultimates 2 is just...
It's brutal.
And I've been talking about that since it came out.
Since whatever it came out.
Because I've read it...
2005 through 2007.
I've read it probably 5 different times.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Because I just love that book. Man.
It's the best Hawkeye...
Oh, for sure.
Ever!
And
Ever!
I think they're going that route.
I think they are too.
But some of the stuff, some of the epicness that happens in Ultimates 2 is just... Whew!
Check it out.
So, you know, that's an old comic.
Yeah, but if you don't know.
Yeah,
that's
nothing new.
Yeah.
We will talk about some certain, I think, lines.
We haven't really done a full comics episode, so that's
I think
something
we'll do
we
that
could do.
because there are, like, books, series that I just love. And again, I read over and over again.
Yeah.
That I would love to talk about and shine some light on. So.
Yeah.
Like Crimson.
Oh yeah.
Battle Chasers.
Two characters from one of my favorite comics are actually up here. So Saga, Brian K. Vaughan, who I love, and Fiona Staples. And I have her art with these two characters over there. But anywho, other comics. I wrote a comic.
Yeah.
It's on Kickstarter.
You gotta promote that.
You know what though? It's done.
He won.
My comic is funded. Thank you if you funded it. If you helped fund. But we are going. I teamed up with this company called Comics Launch. So when the comic does come out, which I'm expecting in early fall, you'll be able to at least get it digitally there. And then I'm gonna buy extra physical copies. That if you're in we're in Rochester, New York. Hi, internet. I know some of you are overseas. We should have said that. We're in Rochester, New York. This is where we record all the episodes for the most part, unless we go on vacation together. But you can buy it at some local comic book places, like Pop Rock down on East Ave in Rochester. You'll be able to get the comic book there. So yeah, I guess I won't talk about it too much.
Conventions.
For sure.
Popping up at conventions. We'll be doing that thing again.
We
Getting
love
out there.
conventions. Yeah.
We'll have we have a multimedia table this time with everything. The comics, the shows, the movies, everything. The network will be live, folks.
Yes. In really, really early infancy. Maybe it'll be a little bit more along the way by the time this episode airs, but we're thinking about a comic book. Movie related, spoiler alert, for you who have been fans of the series for a long time, from LBP and stuff like that. It's just gestating. I'm gonna push him to do it. But it's something that we've been wanting to do for a long time, I think.
Two iconic low budget pictures.
Why are you saying all that? They're gonna know that is.
No, there's lots of iconic.
That's true. That is true. It is a myriad of people.
Leo DeChamp and
Jacques Dequeeve.
yeah.
So anywho, that's comics. So toys. Do you got any toys? Well, you do have. Where's your statue? Is that coming in? Is that in?
Yeah, but I mean, that'll get shown at some point. But I have my wife likes to go a little overboard sometimes on presents for me.
She does.
And I want to say 2 years ago.
No,
maybe
it was for your 40th.
No.
Sure?
No.
Well, maybe it was for Christmas.
When she ordered this, it was it probably was for Christmas 2016.
Well, yeah, maybe that makes sense. So what is it?
A giant Conan the Barbarian
maybe
statue.
There's a picture of it here.
Yeah, I'll show the picture of it. She already caught me one. The Chronicle Collectibles King Conan on his throne from the iconic last shot of Conan the Barbarian, the Arnold Schwarzenegger film, which we love. But she also got another Conan that's huge.
Giant.
And I guess that's going to be coming in soon, so I'll do a video about that one. But that's a statue. That's not really toys.
Right. Collectibles.
Yeah, the toy stuff. It's been mostly 80s related. Pulling back the toys that I had growing up. But again, I'll be doing random videos of that.
I think we might all. I'll probably end up doing some stuff in here.
I have to,
Yeah.
But I stopped getting
Modern.
6-inch, 7-inch figures.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of them are cool, I just, it was something that my wife sort of said, what's the point?
Would you rather have 6 or 12 inches?
Yeah, because she's a huge Hot Toys and Sideshow fan.
Is he in here? Can you see this guy? There you go. Look at this. He's fine. He's huge. This is K2SO.
From Rogue One.
Yep.
This is the Hot Toys.
Alan Tudyk's tiny body is inside of them.
That's right. So this is the stuff my wife likes to get and spend $250,
Literally
$300 out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. And I used to have a crap ton of those toys, but she rightfully, was like, yeah, why don't we get rid of those and we'll just start getting the bigger stuff. More show pieces, I guess, to really display well and not have everything so cluttered so you can't see the action figures anyway. So
So I still do Mezco toys because I love them, but I actually see like that Punisher over there. I bought some stands for them to so I can get like different layers, so I don't hide them. But it's hard, when you have Hot Toys and Sideshow and Blitzway and all these other companies doing these kick-ass.
Bandai.
Well, Bandai usually does little guys.
I know, but you get everything.
Oh, I do get everything, yeah. But NECA, you have the NECA Turtles that
which I do
Raphael's
have,
coming out
which I do
soon,
get.
which is like what are those 18 inches?
They're about 14.
Oh,
15.
Man, those are huge.
Yeah.
I think those are 18.
Bigger than this guy.
That's what I mean, and he's like 13 or 14.
Okay, well,
So
I still need to get Donatello, but I will.
we get a lot of toys, and we will talk about them. So you're just getting kind of like a broad spectrum of everything. I think we should go into our main topic though, but I think we should take a break first.
Break!
Scene.
We're back for those wild commercials.
Whatever they were. I'm sure they were geeky in some way.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about every one of the Marvel Cinematic Universe films.
All right.
This is chunk. This is chunky chunk. Super chunk. All right, let's get right into it. 2008. Iron Man.
Phase 1, folks.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we got the phase.
Got Phase 1 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 10 years going strong.
This is the road to
first,
Infinity
you know
War.
what? We really got to give it up to Kevin Feige.
Oh, and Feige we trust.
The master.
I mean, really.
behind Marvel Studios. This guy has really done the impossible.
Yeah.
And he's made it possible.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there that is remotely close to what this guy has done in the entertainment sphere of literally taking your comic books and putting them into film form. It's almost like you're
reading it,
reading
watching
issue by issue
yeah.
of this giant interconnected series.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the film equivalent of a television series, you know?
It's so the dude started, if you don't know anything about Kevin Feige, who produces and head of Marvel Studios, produces all these films, in the mastermind behind the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He got his start, I guess, on all the Sony Marvel movies, because he's a producer.
No, it was X-Men. It was like, didn't he start with...
he's done Ghost Rider, though.
Yeah, but didn't he was in there with the Fox stuff?
He might
I thought he was. I thought he was on some of the X-Men.
This is the internet. Let's find out what does the internet say? Producer Kevin Feige. He has 62 credits to his name. So yes, X-Men, Daredevil,
So
X-Men 2.
So basically, it looks like he did everything Marvel that was
Hey,
20th
Marvel
Century
movie.
Fox
Everything.
and Sony.
Everything. Blade.
And New Line.
Blade 3. It looks
Well,
like he did.
yeah.
He didn't do 1 and 2, but...
Yeah. But again, Kevin Feige is a Marvel Comics fan.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
you'd have to know within those films that he was putting together through all those years, he was probably like inside going like, man, but they're just doing it wrong. They're not quite there, you know?
You know this dude goes... I mean, because Marvel has had some missteps, so we're going to talk about it, but for the most part...
But they're not terrible.
They're not terrible, no. I mean, like, when you put it up against, like, Blade Trinity, for example, Elektra, and that dog,
What's funny is that he doesn't even have a dog.
This is what you put in post.
This is Ghost Dog.
Holy cow.
Casey's house is pretty big, so there are definitely a lot of spirits roaming the halls, including Ghost Dog.
Well, that would scare me. I think what happened was Kevin Feige got brought down by, Avi Arad. He got stuck with Avi Arad, who is a complete butt munch. Turd bag.
He is a turd bag.
He is. He was more concerned about selling toys than making good movies, and I bet
He's less than a moist towelette.
Ugh. He's gross.
Yes.
But here we are. We got Kevin Feige who is steering the ship. That is the one thing that Marvel does have more than most movie companies, period, is that they have one dude who knows what's up, who has years of projection, he knows at least 5 years out what they're doing.
Well, he's got a very committed and...
He's got that team.
He's got a very solid team around him.
Yeah.
It's a small team, and they all work beautifully and in tandem with each other.
Yep.
And their goal is to kick ass and to blow people's minds, and they certainly do it most of the time.
I wish, and you're going to hear it again and again, probably from me at least, but I wish that DC would get it, but I also wish that Star Wars would do the same thing. That there is somebody who says,
There should
this
be.
This is
because
what
they do have a story group.
they do, and in the TV shows and all the other shit, they do it. And in the comics and the cartoons, they do that. But the movies, because the movies are here for now, until these TV shows come out, the movies are here, they just don't do it. They think the movies are their own separate thing. But, anywho, Kevin Feige, thank you for doing everything you do. I know you're watching this episode, Kevin.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks,
Kev.
This was appointment television for him.
Yeah.
Appointment YouTubery.
He gets like a flag
like, what?
every time his name is spoken of.
Well, because he is all omnipresent. He knows.
That's true.
He is our Lord and Savior.
So
as, Robert Meyer Burnett would say.
So 2008, 10 years ago, the very first Iron Man, Jon Favreau directed. I wonder, should I bring up the writers and all that shit too? Sorry, stuff. We're PG-13.
Yeah.
I think shit we can say.
Shit you can say.
Shit we can say. Because if you listen to the podcast, it's way worse.
I mean, if you do all this, it's gonna take you.
It is going to take forever. So let's just go through the movies. What do you think about Iron Man?
Love it.
Great.
Loved it then. Love it now. I think it's a great. I mean, I mean, they had been on cloud 11 when that movie hit, and
Yeah.
it made over $90 million the opening weekend.
It made a lot.
Yeah, it was over $90 million.
That's crazy.
Opening weekend. And you know, everyone throws around the whole like nobody even knew who Iron Man was. That's weird for me because I certainly did, but I don't know if that's because like we're comic book fans, so of course we know who Iron Man is. Iron Man to me was not a B tier character. And I hear that thrown around throughout the movie blogosphere and critics and people like that. It's like, no, Iron Man was Iron Man. Like
I'm not gonna say
he was in the. I mean, he's the Avenger.
Yes.
Iron Man was Iron Man.
I'm not gonna say he was a B tier, but at that time, and it's still there is a disconnect between the comics and the movies as far as like what's more successful at the time. Nobody was reading.
I know, but
Thor, Iron Man, or Captain America comics.
But I'm saying, like, to me,
I
Iron Man
understand.
was
What you're
always
saying.
part.
He's
of
always
that.
part of the Avengers. He's always like Iron Man. If
He
you
was-
if you read comics at all, you know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, Stark's role in that whole universe
Right.
is huge. I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, again, I guess it's just people who really don't like know the lore, you know, or just like Iron Man, whatever.
I think it's just if you were a comic reader at that time, it wasn't like Spider-Man,
Yeah.
which we'd already seen
I get.
3 movies
But man,
of. Yeah. But they
did
knocked
right.
it out.
They knocked it out of the park. The translation was amazing.
Took a chance on RDJ.
And I mean, man, when he was announced, it was just like, of course.
Yeah.
Like, he is Tony Stark.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was perfect. It literally was perfect. Those two, man. You know, and it's not like Hugh Jackman and Wolverine, who were like the complete opposite character profiles.
Yeah.
And then you grew to love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Right.
This was like...
Nope, that makes sense.
This is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. I loved it. The movie was fantastic.
And I can't remember too many times before this, but I say like an introduction to the post-credit sequence as well.
There was. There
have
But if
been.
you think about them, they were Marvel. Marvel had a lot of post-credit scenes in the 20th Century Fox and Sony worlds.
Yeah.
One that always stands out is the X-Men 3.
Yeah. Where you saw Professor X
at the end.
Yeah.
At the end in the hospital.
Yeah.
And everything.
But to hear, well, first of all,
this mattered. This was like a blow your mind type of. This is going to change the game, the future of everything.
Seeing Brian Michael Bendis' version of Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury show up from the comic book, if you were a comic book fan, into physical form, that was already a mind scrambler, learning that he was getting cast, and then hearing the Avengers Initiative. I remember, like, losing my effing
It actually
mind.
doesn't say Avengers Initiative.
I thought he does say Avengers.
He says Avenger.
Oh,
He said,
Avenger Initiative?
Yeah, I want to
okay,
tell you
whatever.
the Avenger Initiative.
Avenger Initiative. But still, that's insane.
Whatever. Yeah. It was amazing. It was awesome.
And you knew that more this is it.
And
like, what are you doing?
I remember in the audience, you could see who were the nerds. Because it was the nerds who were like, "Wah!" Like visible and audible reactions from people when that was said in the film.
Yeah.
And that like gave you goosebumps and you like fist pumped and it was just like, oh my god, are they gonna do this?
So what's funny too is that these movies are still, they're not Disney owned yet.
No, not yet.
This is Paramount.
Yeah, it was Paramount and Marvel.
Yeah, Paramount Marvel. All right, so same year apparently.
It was
The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, and Louis Leterrier as the director.
Which I like. I think he's a good director.
I still think this movie's freaking great. I really do. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. Really good stuff in there.
Yeah.
And it is in the MCU.
It is in the canon.
Regardless of who's playing Hulk, it is still...
But Edward Norton is a good actor.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying it's still in the continuity.
Yes.
General Ross is firmly in the continuity.
Yep.
And, of course, the post-credit... Robert Downey Jr. coming in at the end, talking about we're putting together a team, you know.
Yeah.
Again, that just added even more fire to the flames, folks.
Bonkers.
It was great.
Bonkers. All right, 2010, Iron Man 2.
Took off a little bit of time, and
That's Favreau again.
but jumped right into Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
To
me, this is the weakest one of the Iron Man series. It's Justin Theroux wrote it. It's a little too long, I think.
I would agree that it's the weakest one. And I think mostly... See, like, lots of people complain that, they just tried to shoehorn all the Avengers stuff in there. I don't buy that. I don't think they did at all.
What?
I think it was... Really, if you look up criticism of Iron Man 2, a lot of it is, it's mostly just a pre-Avengers thing and not its own movie. And its own movie, whatever is the own movie, isn't strong enough. And I'm like...
I guess...
But really, if you watch it again and you count how much Avengers stuff is in it, it's not that much at all.
I mean, you get the introduction of Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow.
Yes.
Which her hair was stupid, but she was amazing in it.
I was
of course I was. You know I was.
Whole package.
Of course.
I mean, that scene where she enters that ring.
Oh yeah, that's so badass.
That shot that they gave her, he knew what he was doing. I mean, it is just, oh my goodness.
I'm trying to think.
Beautiful vision.
Well, I really like Sam Rockwell as Justin.
Sam Rockwell is great in the movie. I didn't care about the villain at all. That's one thing.
That's the only thing
I don't like about the movie.
Yeah, he's not that good.
Cool set pieces.
Yep.
But as a villain, I just didn't give a crap. I
Yeah.
was like, I am not invested in this.
Do you remember what the post-credit sequence is for this one? Because I don't. Maybe this is the one where he's like, "You're out. Like you're not."
Yeah,
in this
might have been that one.
I think he's like, "You're a loose cannon.
I
you're
thought
not
you were
part
going
of
to be a part of this.
Yes,
and
that's what it is.
How about you go away?
Yeah.
And that's when they had stuff on they had Incredible Hulk
playing on the monitors.
Like what was happening.
Right.
And all that stuff.
That's the other thing we forgot to mention. So Terrence Howard is Rhodey in Iron Man 2008. Don Cheadle comes in 2010 as Rhodey. Way better. Yes. And we get to actually see War Machine, which I actually love War Machine.
Me too.
When I was a kid. So
it was great.
That was great.
It was great. The chemistry and camaraderie
way better
between these two knuckleheads than it was with Terrence Howard.
Just didn't care.
He wanted money. That's all. He was like, if I'm going to do it, I need more money.
Ugh. All right, 2011, Thor.
I love Thor.
There's parts of it that I like.
Thor is one of, he's right up top, if not my favorite Marvel character. It was Spider-Man through growing up, from a wee lad growing up. But the more Thor that I was reading in my teen years, the more I just loved, because I love fantasy and Norse mythology.
Yes.
And I love bombastic,
Speak, yeah.
weird, crazy, over-the-top, theatrical, Shakespearean, you know, Stan Lee, the way he would write
Oh yeah.
Asgardian dialogue was cheesy and over the top, and I just love that, and I love Thor, how egotistical he is, and he's just so like, I am amazing and you can't destroy me. I am Thor, son of Odin. You know, that stuff was so great to me, and I just so I was super looking forward to Thor. Super looking forward to Thor. I was mildly disappointed. I still really love the movie, but there's things that I was like, you know what, I would rather just fast forward this.
Yeah.
Or cut this part entirely.
Yeah. It's so the thing about Thor. So Kenneth Branagh directed it, who has directed so many great Shakespearean things. Like watch his Hamlet and watch
great.
Thor, and yeah, he's great.
He's just great. He's
Good actor,
his
good
acting
director.
is great. He's
Everything in Asgard, I'm there. 110%.
Yeah.
This is.
But you had to have the
I know.
the fish out of water stuff.
I know.
And some of
Donald
it
Blake's-
works.
Some of it does.
Some of it works.
Like I like Eric Selvig. I don't mind him at all. I actually, because I've had such a crush on Natalie Portman my entire life, that I don't hate her, but still I don't like her. I don't like when these movies force love interests on these larger than life characters.
And it's in the comics, but the chemistry wasn't there.
It's just not there. And it's like you don't have to do it off the first comic. Sif obviously is the choice.
And she's just like not even a thing now.
Well, she went on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they just literally never even talked to her again. But anywho, so you
Like,
got the Warriors 3.
Where the hell is Sif in 3? Like,
She's not.
what is she doing?
She's
I know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Asgard was just destroyed.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't
so weird. But the Destroyer. No, it's not Destroyer. Yeah, it's the Destroyer.
the Destroyer.
Yeah, he was awesome. That scene, was great. Seeing Hawkeye for the first time was cool. I can't remember what Loki, obviously. Tom Hiddlesworth is one of the greatest. Hiddleston, yeah. Hiddlesworth, yeah. Hiddleston is one of the best Marvel Cinematic villains that we have.
He is.
And definitely the most consistent.
Loki's great.
Yeah. What was the post-credit sequence for that? Seeing the Infinity Gauntlet. Seeing it in Odin's. Also, sorry, Anthony Hopkins was freaking amazing too. I feel like seeing it was. Oh man.
I guess we're useless.
Yeah.
We're useless at this stuff.
But you're having fun.
So the post-credit in Iron Man 2 then was finding Thor's hammer.
Yep, in New Mexico.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. They also did one-shots at that time,
Yeah, but
which
that
were
wasn't a
great.
one-shot. I know. But I'm saying, so the you're out of the Avengers thing
That could have been
was
one
in the movie.
Yeah. So Iron Man 2, Thor, finding Thor's hammer. Thor, the end of Thor was Nick Fury welcomes Eric Selvig to S.H.I.E.L.D. and after showing him the Tesseract, asks him to investigate the object further. Selvig agrees, unaware that his mind is being controlled by Loki.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So I have a thing up now, so we'll actually go through these correctly. Captain America, also 2011. Captain America: First Avenger.
Yeah.
Johnny Storm, Chris Evans, turned Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
I am one of the few people who really like this movie.
I like it too.
People always give me shit. Oh, but the first Cap, you don't like the first Thor, but you like the first... Yeah, I do, because it's a cheesy, fun movie. Joe Johnston does a great freaking job directing it. It's like kind of a little bit of Rocketeer in there. And I love Red Skull as a villain. I always have, and I think that Hugo Weaving does a good job. So, in the Tesseract, I like all of it.
Yeah. Me too.
It's just a good origin story. I don't know why people don't like
I think
it.
it's fun. I think it's, it's got that old-timey feeling.
Yep.
It's a nice throwback movie. I'm glad that they did it that way.
I am too. And I like Bucky.
Yeah,
Bucky's
they
fun.
established a great...
Sharon.
Sharon Carter.
Yeah, Sharon Carter. Haley Atwell. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's
Oh my god.
she's something special.
Yeah.
She's got some good friends too.
She was good.
Yeah, so I mean, I think, and this was the first time where they really started messing around with like changing people in the Marvel universe, because they shrunk Chris Evans to be a 98-pound weakling,
Yes.
and it worked.
Yep.
It actually worked.
If it worked for Peter Jackson, it could work for him.
But they,
I mean, they skinny-fied him too. I mean, he really does look completely different.
yeah, but through Marvel, they
Yes.
really perfected the manipulation of people,
Time.
and it's
And
worked.
it looks
It's been
good.
great.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we get the post credit of.
It's actually just a scene out of the Avengers. It's Nick Fury going to Cap and being like, so after
Remember, he wakes up
right. Yes.
from the ice,
From the ice. Yes.
and he freaks out, busts out of the building,
Runs through New York.
runs through Times Square,
Yes.
and they're like, "Yo, dude."
Yeah, that's right.
You know, like, we gotta talk.
Yeah. And then 2012, the culmination of these films, The Avengers, which to this day is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
So it was the end of Phase 1,
Yes.
and what they were teasing, they delivered on, and they delivered on big time. Joss Whedon, geek god who we love, was given the reins to the Avengers. I mean, holy crap, you know?
From Buffy
To go back
to the Avengers.
2011, when we first knew that Joss Whedon was directing an Avengers movie. I mean, I would love to hear us talk about it then, and how
Should have had that podcast then.
how we were reacting to that news and flipping out about it. But yeah, Avengers is just phenomenal.
Saw it 3 times in 24 hours.
Well, like, that first showing is definitely one of the best movie-going
Yes.
experiences I've ever had.
For sure.
As a geek, as a fan, as a human being.
Yeah.
Because that audience at the IMAX, and back then it was still midnight. They were
Yes.
still doing midnight shows. So it was a midnight show.
Yep.
It was so awesome. I can still remember it at the sheer magic in that auditorium,
Yeah.
in that IMAX theater. I mean, people were losing their minds at this movie. The goosebumps, the cheering, the screaming.
I have goosebumps now.
The people who were like up on their feet, like shouting in like love and adoration at what they were seeing.
Yeah.
We had never seen anything like it, and they pulled it off, and
Yeah.
it was such a rush.
I just watched it again last week, and I was still giddy and still had goosebumps. And afterwards, I just wish that DC could have done something like this. Only, like, I want to be this excited to watch another movie again, because watching that again, and it's been probably at least a year or two since I watched Avengers, I was like, holy shit, this is a great movie, start to finish. And once it starts, it does not stop. It is hilarious, it is well written, and then some of the shots that he gets, like, cinematography is just like, it's bonkers.
I mean, there's some set
It's
pieces
bonkers.
that were just like squeal. I mean,
Yeah.
I was laughing in the theater at what we were watching, just out of sheer like happiness.
Seeing Hulk punch that thing, like, it's insane to me. It's insane. I might have to edit that. That was so great. But,
Yeah. So Avengers is pretty good, folks.
Gosh, I'm
and that
still
was the
excited.
end of phase one.
So the post-credit sequence also introduced us to
Shawarma.
the overall villain of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes, but the one that actually made, again, people go,
Well, that's obvious.
no way.
Yeah.
was the intro to Thanos.
At courting death. Also
Yes.
that line
Yes,
of courting death specifically. If you know your Infinity Saga, you know about that. But we'll be seeing it. You'll be seeing it in 2 days with us.
Yeah.
Some of you, at least in spirit. All right, so that's the end of Phase 1. Couldn't think of anything. Just insane. Just insanity. All right, Phase 2. Skip just a year. And we have Iron Man 3, Shane Black to direct.
I liked it. I thought it was good. It's definitely a Shane Black movie.
I need to see it again. It's been a long time.
It's different.
Yeah.
They took Tony out of the suit for the majority of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of went on his own little adventure.
It's the Warren Ellis extremist story.
Yeah, they
in
did.
Some
They
ways.
cherry-picked some things from
Yeah.
that and brought it in, which I loved, because I really love that
That's
story.
good. Yeah, it's good.
So I was like, this is a good way to go. And they gave Tony PTSD. PTSD, yeah. Which I loved. I really loved. Because, like, a part of me that was a little let down in the first Avengers movie was sort of rectified in Iron Man 3, whereas I wanted Tony to react more to the shit that was happening around him because of the type of person he is.
Yeah.
Where
he does
the
not
intellectual-
believe in any of that
The
stuff.
science stuff that he,
Yeah.
you know, he's a very highly intelligent human being,
Yeah.
and to be thrust into the situations that he was in the Avengers, they didn't give him enough time to, and I get it, but they didn't give him enough time to be like, what is going on here?
How am I seeing an alien species?
How is
come
all
out?
how is
Like,
all of this
opening-
happening?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
am I reacting to this guy who flies with a hammer and
A
uses
god.
thunder and, you know, like,
Yeah.
it's, you know,
Yep.
Bruce Banner turning into the Hulk.
Yep.
There was no
Looking
time,
like Mark Ruffalo.
There was no time, for, which I love.
Yeah.
I mean, this
We
didn't
forgot
even
to
talk
say
about
that.
the Hulk, but
Yeah.
this was the first time where
It was a mocap Hawk.
it
or Hulk.
was
Yep.
the Hulk on screen, the
Yep.
way that we always wanted the Hulk
Yes.
to be.
Yep.
Unleashed.
Yep. Oh, yes.
I mean, it was amazing. So good.
Yeah.
But they gave that to Tony Stark in Iron Man 3.
Yep.
He was really suffering from some like, now he's getting it. Now he's
Yep.
like, oh my gosh, this stuff happened. And I didn't know what to do. You know, he has a hard time dealing with all of this stuff and feeling like it's up to us to deal with things like this. Like, how can we do this? How can we go forward and deal with this?
Yeah.
You know? And I like that. I really like that.
I think it's a very good movie. I think it's just it wasn't the movie that we expected after coming off of the high of the Avengers. That's it. Like, if this movie was Iron Man 2, I think it would have been a little different.
I mean, that was
It's just-
okay, though. I didn't expect that because it had to go back to...
I know, but I'm just
You know?
saying, like, that was kind of like, you know, that's it. If anything, you have to give up. All right, Thor: The Dark World. Whew! You know, looking through this list, it may be the worst Marvel movie that I've seen.
I like the movie. I don't love the movie.
But is this the worst one? Thor: The Dark World. You look at this. I mean, everything we're about to
Probably-
go through is like heavy hitters. Pretty much go on.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's probably the weakest out of all the films, but there's stuff
There's some stuff.
in the Dark World
Yes.
that I wanted in the original Thor.
Yes.
That I was so happy about.
Yeah.
Because I felt with Thor 2, they really did mix the fantasy and science fiction elements way better.
Yeah.
Well,
we forgot.
and even brought in a little more Kirby stuff in 2 than they did in 1.
Right. Real quick, I forgot. Iron Man 3 at the end of it is stupid post-credit sequence. It's where he's
Oh,
on the
yes, it
couch
is.
talking to Bruce Banner. It was dumb.
Yeah.
This, too many humans. That's it. Too much humans. And Malekith, so at this time...
Talk about the weakest villain.
Which
This
is so
guy-
bad because I love Malekith in the comics.
Dark Elves
I
is sweet.
love him.
but it literally was useless.
Yes,
He was
Christopher
useless.
Eccleston didn't care. Speaking so much in Dark Elf was too bad too because it just I don't know. It's just this is not good. He's
But
just
we
a
got
shit
another
man.
stone, another gem.
We got the ether. We got the oh we didn't even talk about all the gems.
We got
So
some-
we have
got
the
some gems
Tesseract,
going.
which is I feel like I read this every day. Space Gem, Space Stone. We have Loki's Scepter, which is the Mind Stone, and now we have the Ether, which is the Reality Stone.
It's the fart gem.
Yep. So Thor: The Dark World is like whatever. Alan Taylor, who directed Terminator Genisys, directed it, and
He did some Game of Thrones.
yes, he did do some great Game of Thrones. He's better on TV, personally.
But I mean, again, I liked certain things from it. And that post credit was the Guardians one,
Yes.
where they go to the collector and drop off the ether.
Yep. Which was cool. All right. So that's 2013. Both of those. 2014 is probably one of the best years ever. Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Whew!
Top. I don't know how many movies. There's 13. That's in the.
18 movies or something like that. Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot. It's in the top 5 for sure. Watch this again. What you were saying earlier about how you see a comic book come to life. So I had read the Ed Brubaker run of the Winter Soldier, and just seeing that, first of all, hearing the name get announced, I remember getting like my blood was pumping. But that scene where he like goes and jumps off of his bike, flips over, smashes his shield in, is hanging. I was just like, this is crazy. This is banana sand. Like this is a comic book. We've never seen anything like that on screen before. Oh my gosh. Spy Story. I could talk all day about Winter Soldier. It is.
What are you talking about? The flip over of the bike? That?
No, he's like, there's a Quinjet that's shooting him
Oh, that
while he's
scene.
on there.
That scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He takes the shield, he's shooting things
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
it. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
gosh.
I thought you meant when he does the flip, grabs this bike and throws it.
That's crazy too.
That's in Avengers 2.
Well, right. But that is also crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know. That's Chris Walk's favorite movie like ever.
Winter Soldier is fantastic. It is really great. They just, by the Russo brothers from Community.
That's it. First one with them.
They just started. Again, they're just kicking it up, and Marvel started to change up the genre within the films.
That's also true.
So,
yeah. No longer is it. You know, it's
and Robert
debatable.
Redford was fantastic.
Yes.
In it.
It's not a comic
The
book
introduction
movie.
to the Falcon.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, it's
Agent Sitwell.
totally.
Again, you know what I like about this movie also is that it's a Cap and Black Widow movie. Like, they're paired together.
Yeah.
And that's why I really hope when we do get a Black Widow movie, it's a Black Widow and Hawkeye movie.
I think
she's
it
the
will.
star,
I think
but
it will
he's
be.
the behind the scenes, always there star. Post credit sequence for this one is we see Wolfgang von Strucker, not Baron von Strucker.
Well,
What is it? The same thing?
He's a Baron.
Okay, makes his way through. You know, he has the scepter, and he shows us the miracles.
The twins.
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Which, I will say, even though I thought it was cool, I was a little annoyed because, as we all know, they are mutants and they are Magneto's children.
Yeah, but we can't do that. Not
yet.
Yeah, not yet. Soon.
All this Inhumans crap. But Captain America: Winter Soldier, perfect movie. Also, perfect movie, which I watched the day before yesterday. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Volume 1.
It's fantastic. So good.
Oh yeah.
Funny, entertaining, heartwarming. It felt like this generation's Star Wars
Really
for
did.
kids,
Yeah.
It
of
was
kids.
so fun.
There's some gross stuff.
No, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I do.
Imagine being, little.
Yeah. Well, I've said it. I said it to my wife. I said this is a better Star Wars movie, especially at that time. But I remember the announcement of Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it was a collective Who. You know what I mean? Like there's a comic at that time. Brian Michael Bendis had just started writing a new Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was reading that. But this is a little bit of his and a little bit of the I think Christopher Yost's run from like 90s, late 90s, and then a little bit of the 70s stuff. But really, nobody read the Guardians of the Galaxy on a consistent basis. It's kind of like Iron Fist. He gets a series every few years. James Gunn destroyed it. Trauma.
Yeah, from the Trauma days.
Trauma.
James Gunn did it.
He Gunn did it.
And it was great. I mean, it was so fun. It's still like such a fun movie to watch. It's and it gave us Thanos, like
full Thanos,
fully Thanos, talking.
Yep.
You know,
and
brought
the introduction
in, brought
of
in the Kree.
Yep.
Like again, not really focusing on the bigger picture, but
it's
contained.
It's
Contained, but still having those little threads.
Yeah. Oof. Guardians. And the post credit for that was, Baby Groot and Howard the Duck. Seeing Howard the Duck. And then, so still in Phase 2, Avengers: Age of Ultron 2015.
Yeah.
I need to watch it again because I remember liking it, but compared to the Avengers, it wasn't that great. This, I will say, does have the problem of shoving in too much in one movie. And Joss clearly not being... I don't know if it's his fault. I don't know if it's the studio's fault. I blame the studio. But there's just too much in that movie to make it a contained story enough.
I like it.
Do you agree? Like,
I don't love it, but
adding in
I
the
like
Infinity
it.
Stones
I like it a
and
lot.
all the Ultrons and all that. Is it too...
They definitely tried to shove in a lot. But it to me, it doesn't fail. Even with all that stuff, it still doesn't fail.
It's not a horrible movie. That beginning splash page, out of control. There
are a lot of set pieces in the movie that are just like, this is amazing.
Fighting all those Ultrons in slow-mo, all the characters.
Well, and the shot of Iron Man, Thor, and Vision, all beaming into Ultron.
Yeah.
I was just like, I mean, this is a comic book page.
Yes.
This is, holy crap.
Yes.
This is so cool. And I loved Scarlet Witch. I thought she was great.
She was great.
The intro to Vision was fantastic.
Yep.
Quicksilver. There's amazing, all this stuff where Ultron first invades Avenger Tower.
Yeah.
It's all great.
Even that sequence, even that they're all sitting around joking.
Yes.
Was a great,
it's
a great scene.
There's a lot of great stuff in the movie.
Yeah.
It just, it was a little busy. They had a lot to get through.
They did. So then Hulk gets away.
Hulk leaves. Yeah,
Hulk goes. Thor goes. Really?
Yeah, because he's got to go look for those stones. He says at the very end.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta pursue this vision.
So this is then we see Thanos putting on the gauntlet,
which doesn't make any sense. And if you think about it, it really is like, this is kind of weird.
This is where he's like, I gotta do this myself.
Yeah, he goes, I guess I'll do this myself.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I think at the time, cool thing.
I guess. I still was like, even then I was a little like let down.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's it? So he's putting on the gauntlet.
Yeah. They didn't try this hard. And then Ant-Man, 2015.
Yeah,
End of Phase
great. Great. Now, for you folks out there who may not know, Ant-Man was an original member of the Avengers.
Uh-huh. He was.
Just took some time to
Hank
get to...
Pym was the original member, not Scott Lang.
No. But I'm saying the character of Ant-Man.
Yes.
Yeah. And in a way, in their own way, they do address that. Not as an Avenger, but there is Hank Pym. He did do these adventures. He did this stuff beforehand. And I liked that. And then they tied it into the Avengers.
Yeah.
With Civil War. But I really love Ant-Man. I think it's super fun. It's a great adventure heist movie.
Yeah. It's a genuinely funny movie.
Yeah, there's some great funny bits.
Yes.
I love the teases for Wasp throughout the movie.
Yep.
Because she really wants to be a part of what's going on.
The age technology with Michael Douglas was insane.
Yeah, in the opening?
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
so good. So
Great stuff. You know, Yellow Jacket, not the biggest, greatest villain at all.
That sequence where I got to hear a Cure song in a Marvel movie made me very happy.
But their battle was cool.
Yeah, their battle's cool.
And again, little bits into the thread of the whole long-form story that's going on.
We got to hear Spider-Man in that movie at the end. When they said a dude who climbs up walls. But that was their... That was good. And then the real sequence... Well, Hope seeing the Wasp outfit.
Yeah.
And then seeing a cutscene from Civil War with Bucky attached to... It was just like a scene from Civil War. Where Bucky's like got his arm in the...
Oh, yeah.
So that was cool. So that's the end of Phase 2, and then Phase 3 starts off with Captain America: Civil War, 2016. Again, top 5 Marvel movies.
So Ant-Man was the end of Phase 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it was that summer. But because it takes place, I guess, I don't know when it takes place. Before Avengers 2?
No.
I guess after?
Because remember he goes to the facility, the new facility.
And he fights Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so whatever. It's before Civil War because he shows up in Civil War. Captain America: Civil War, one of my favorite comics, another Mark Millar.
Indeed. And they did a good job.
They did. Wasn't exactly the same because they don't have all the characters, but the idea with the Sokovia Accords, as opposed to the Superhero Registration Act, still didn't matter. They did the same idea.
They brought in General Ross.
Yep.
From Incredible Hulk.
And then Everett Ross.
Which is great. Oh, yeah, they did, yeah.
Black Panther.
Introduced Black Panther.
Spider-Man.
Introduced... No, they introduced Claw in Age of Ultron.
Yes, they did.
Which was very cool.
I forgot about
Andy
that.
Serkis.
Yep.
So all the way back in Age of Ultron, they introduced Claw.
I forgot about that.
Didn't pay him off until this year with Black Panther, but...
Yeah.
Black Panther, and then of course Peter Parker, Spider-Man, the intro to Spider-Man in the MCU.
The true cinematic Spider-Man to this point.
Yes.
I mean, really.
My favorite Spider-Man to date. Finally back at home where he belongs, where he always should have been, how it always should have worked out.
No. Stanley was pretty poor
but I think it just made it all worth it.
It did.
You know, to see him with the Marvel heroes. It was like, this is right.
Seeing
this
that
feels
line
right.
up.
I know. It was like, here they are. This is Marvel.
Yeah.
Now just get the X-Men in there. Fantastic Four. And they're all there.
Did you like Zemo?
I didn't mind him.
I liked it.
I didn't mind him at all.
Yeah.
Again, it was a very simple revenge story.
Yeah.
But he was very intricate in the way he was setting it up.
Yes.
But when you break it down, it is a revenge story.
Yes.
But I liked it, and I love that they were able to get what's his name in there, and have it be comic light, but not comic, but not what he is in the
Baron or Zemo?
Not Zemo. The what's his name?
I don't know.
He's like MODOK, but not.
The guy who's in the Captain America ones?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in both Captain America movies, and he's in this one again too. Toby, what's his name's playing him?
Isn't he? Isn't he the voice, or isn't there like a?
He's the voice that's inside of.
Yeah,
Zemo?
but no.
I don't know.
You guys will know what I'm talking about if you're
Just leave it a comment.
Comic book fans.
Leave a comment.
Anyway.
The guy who's inside the computers.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
guy.
Yeah, but that was a
Because he doesn't
clever
die.
interpretation
Yes.
of that character from the comics.
Yes. Gosh, you're gonna kill me with that. I know who you're talking about.
It's Armin.
Arn Zola.
Yeah.
Yep. Arn Zola. Though I still wish.
But he has a comic character name, and he doesn't look like that in the comics. But they
he's
pulled
showing
it off funny enough in the.
He does like a Krang type thing in the comics too, though. Remember? Where he's
Yes,
like
that's
inside
what
of
I'm
a
talking about.
robot.
That's
Yeah. So anyway, great movie. The ending, we get a little bit of a.
Well, let's see. I mean, Civil War breaks the. It's basically Avengers disassemble.
Yeah.
It's the spearing of the two factions.
Oh, and we got the Hulkbuster suit.
Yeah, we got Hulkbuster in that whole sequence.
Gosh.
That was an Age of Ultron.
Did it? Oh, it was?
That was an Age of Ultron. Yeah,
Oh.
the end of Civil War was the three of them fighting, Bucky, Iron Man, and and Cap,
Yep.
which broke it all up. Some of
Yeah.
them were in the, what is it, the Trixillion? The Tricillion?
Triskelion?
Yeah.
Triskelion. Yeah.
The villain stronghold where they have all the bad guys. But some of them are now in chains because of them going against Ross and those guys.
Yeah.
Like Hawkeye, like Ant-Man, Falcon, they're all behind bars.
Yeah.
And then at the end of Civil War, you see Steve come and basically bust everybody out.
And they're in Wakanda.
And then, Wakanda.
And then we also see a little, we see Aunt May, right? Foreshadowing.
There's some Aunt May, when he goes to Queens.
Yep.
Oh, and then Giant Man.
Yeah.
That whole airport sequence in Civil War is...
That's one of the greatest.
Yeah,
cinematic
again,
sequences.
they just keep... I don't know how they keep doing it, but they do. They keep one-upping themselves in the Marvel Universe.
It's
They're
because...
you think you've seen it all? No.
They read a comic book and they
Wait
go,
until
oh, that's
you
a
see
cool
this."
scene, let's just put that in there.
So...
There's 60 years or 70 years worth of these stories. Alright, also in 2016, towards the end, Doctor Strange.
Loved it.
Inception for Marvel.
Whatever. Doctor Strange was fantastic. Again, that's another character that I very highly gravitate towards. I think he's great. I love, again, his bravado and the whole mysticism and the Asian influence aspect of that character. All of that is... I mean,
he's very much like Tony Stark.
I think
just
Scott
with
Derrickson did a great job with it. Cumberbund, he is fantastic as Stephen Strange.
Yes, he is.
Again, that's another one of those, like, of course, like, he looks like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
You know, I love it. I loved the movie.
I do love it.
It's one of those movies there where, like, I've probably put it on just as a background movie several times. Like, just to, like, man, this is such a fun, great movie. The soundtrack is awesome.
Is bonkers.
So good.
I don't remember who does that score.
It's Giacchino.
Oh. My dude. Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. And then they teased Thor.
They do.
Looking for Odin.
But we also get the time stone.
Well, with the Eye of Agamotto.
Yes.
Which is conveniently one of the stones.
Correct.
Which is clever.
That's clever. And what's her name? All the cast does a good job.
Everyone's phenomenal in it. Again, another weak villain, but he was cool. He did his job. He served his purpose.
Who, Mordo or what's his name?
No, it was Mads Mikkelsen as the main.
Yeah, but he's a zealot of the big one, the devil dude, the main guy. Dormammu. Yes, we did get to see Dormammu, which I liked a lot. And we forgot to say in the Ant-Man movie they do go to the microverse, which was really cool, and seeing like that whole weird, side of things. All right, so that's 2016. 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It went down even more on my list because I watched it again recently and I just was like, meh.
Yeah. You know, and I was excited leading up to it.
Of course. Why wouldn't we after the first one?
And it isn't. Yeah, it's not that good.
No.
But I told you that last time we talked on one of these podcasts because I had watched it with River again. Because he had just came on. It was just popped on Netflix.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's watch it. So I was like, okay. And watching it during that, I was just like, ooh. I was like, this is weak. This is really weak. There's characters that are awesome in
There's
it.
sequences that are awesome in it.
Yeah, there's things that are great.
Yeah.
Quotes that are great.
Yep.
But overall, I think he just got a little too slap happy with his own emotions and making it
Family. It was like a Fast and the Furious movie. Family.
Yeah, it just was just like
too much, bro.
Yeah.
The first movie has a lot of heart. Watching it again,
I get the
it
heart.
does.
That's great. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it lost focus for me. It
Yeah.
just was just like, okay, is this like a family therapy movie? Like
That's what it was.
I mean, that's fine. But it was like beating you over the head with it.
Yeah.
It's also supposed to be a fun, crazy adventure,
Yep.
sci-fi, Marvel comic book movie.
Yep.
And some of that stuff. Oh, I thought it was CG overload, and that kind of messed with me a little bit too. I was just like, man, he's relying too much on the visual effects.
That end sequence is horrible because of that. Where they're both CG characters.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, we're gonna talk about it in a second with this other movie, but like, I don't know. That's why, like, for me, sometimes Captain America's better because I know there's CGI, obviously, but it just seems more real. Even Iron Man seems more real with these guys. Even, I don't know, freaking Thor does for a lot, but Guardians, the second one especially.
It was just a little overload.
Too
on
much.
it. And I think because of that, it wasn't refined as well as it could have been.
No.
And it fell short with me, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just kind of meh.
We did get just a little nod to the original team of the Guardians from the
Which is
original
cool.
comics, which is funny.
Which is cool.
Sylvester Stallone, and it was cool. And then we get another hint to Adam Warlock. We did get one in the first movie where we kind of saw his cocoon, and then we get the name Adam in part 2. So I would assume, though James Gunn doesn't, who knows, but you would assume the third one you're gonna get him, or Infinity War. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Also, 2017 Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yes. Fantastic. They again knocked it out of the park. Spidey with Marvel is a win-win. So fun. I feel like
Loved it.
I was a little more giddy than you were in the theater.
This is me. Sometimes.
Because I was like constantly just smiling and like moving in my seat, and like I kept looking it over everybody who was like next to me. I was just like, "Are you seeing this?" Like
there is times
to
where
me they did it. They really did Spider-Man.
I get I get a couple of reactions in the movie, but sometimes when it's really good, I'm so like I can't believe this that I can't even react. I'm trying to think. There was another movie that happened recently where I was just like, I can't even believe it. I don't remember what it was, but I do know that. But this was that. Because I like Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, actually, a lot. I like those Andrew Garfield movies.
Yeah.
And I like Spider-Man 2. I like parts of 1. But overall, like we said, growing up, Spider-Man was my favorite character ever.
Yeah, me too.
And it's like, this was it. This was finally the Spider-Man that you've been reading forever.
Yeah, like for me, Tobey, those guys, they were never my people. I never liked Tobey Maguire. I hated Kirsten Dunst. Really the best part about Spider-Man 1 and 2, those Sam Raimi movies,
Those villains.
were the villains.
Yeah.
not costume wise with Green Goblin, but
Yeah.
portrayal.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn,
Yeah.
and Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. Whew, fantastic.
Yes.
Great stuff.
Yes.
But overall, they just, for me as a Spidey fan, they just fell flat. And they got a few more things right with Amazing Spider-Man, but still, it still didn't feel...
It just didn't feel 100%.
Yeah, it wasn't 100% what I really wanted my Spider-Man movie to be. That might be whiny fanboyism.
Of course.
But I didn't whine about it. I still found enjoyment. I still had a good time. But this was so right to me. This was like, man, Kevin Feige, you brilliant son bitch. Like, you know your stuff.
I think that was the other thing, was just like, it also connected to the Marvel films in a brilliant way. Like, it just made sense that all this was happening. And unlike the Netflix shows where they just like bastardize the cinematic universe, but this was like, wow, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. And we don't have to have the explanation of Uncle Ben, the Zugga Pound, all that stuff was out. And this was just this kid.
This is Spider-Man.
This is
Spider-Man.
So, I think that was it. It was just like, I just genuinely couldn't believe that this is what we had been seeing, and
I was so happy.
It was crazy.
And every time I've seen it, I've just loved the movie more and more. You know?
Yep.
I recently showed my wife the movie, and
It really
she
nice.
loved it. And she's not a big Spider-Man person, but she was like, phew. And Spider-Man in Civil War, that whole scene where Spider-Man shows up was her favorite scene in Civil War.
So good. Yeah. So good. So this, we got a little bit of a hint at the end of it. Nothing to the Marvel world, but to the Spider-Man verse.
Tony was building his suit, making him a suit, basically.
That wasn't the after credit sequence.
Wasn't it?
No, it was
I thought it was.
It was Scorpion. Like seeing Scorpion like come up to Vulture in jail.
That was the mid-credit sequence. The after-credit scene was the thing, the light that shined on Peter's ceiling that had the spider symbol and all the moving parts that was plopping out of this thing that he had.
He already showed him the suit because he was like, "Hey, I'm going to ask you to be part of the Avengers." Remember? He goes, "We're going to have a press conference right now."
Oh, yeah.
And then Peter's like, "Nah, I can't do it." And that's where you saw the suit.
Yeah.
That's it. They say it. That's all. And then there was a Captain America's stupid public service
Oh,
announcement.
yeah. Then when was that weird-ass...
That was at the end of Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That he had made him a new suit.
Yeah.
So yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming, brilliant. Good job, John Watts, right? And Sam Weir. And also 2017, Thor Ragnarok, best of the 3 Thor movies.
Indeed, for sure.
Game over.
And you know,
Still not my Thor.
When I first saw it,
He's just not Thor. Compared to the comics, he's still not Thor. It's very good. He is very good in that role.
What do you mean? Yeah,
He's
totally
too funny.
is.
It's too funny.
You mean in 3?
Yes.
Oh.
Chris
3?
Hemsworth is Thor. That's it.
Yeah.
But if they would have took Thor from 1 and 2 and put that in what we just saw, that to me would have been the perfect Thor movie.
Yeah.
But it was too jokey of a Thor. And sorry, everything else is perfect. I love this soundtrack by Mark Mothersbaugh, Jeff Goldblum, that Hulk. I love Tessa Thompson as Val. I mean, I really love the entire movie, except for as much as I love Cate Blanchett to the deepest of my soul, she was not a great villain.
No, they...
And I don't think that's Cate Blanchett's fault. I just think
Nope.
they gave her nothing.
Yeah, she literally does nothing.
She's only in 10 minutes of the movie too? 15?
But it's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
So much fun.
Yes.
And then, of course, the arrival of Thanos' ship at the very end.
Yes.
Yep. And then...
Black Panther.
Black Panther
this year.
which is this year,
Yep.
February.
I loved it.
I liked it. I liked it. I didn't love it,
Yeah.
but I liked it. I had a good time. I also thought that, it seems like ILM and some of the other companies are working really hard on Infinity War, and they kind of slacked on Black Panther because, whew, some of that stuff took me out of it a little bit.
The rhino scene took me out of it.
Well-
That right there to me was like a really bad.
I mean, that whole scene
Lord of the
where
Rings
they're
scene.
down in that train almost.
Oh, that was bad too.
Where
Yeah.
clearly it's weightless CG
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
flying around,
Yeah,
going at
yeah,
each
yeah.
other in a giant CG environment.
That was.
I was just like,
that was disappointing.
ooh, it just, and I have a giant swath of suspension of disbelief because I'm still a child inside and I have that childlike awe. But this was like, not in a major motion picture did I want to see something that looked like this.
Yeah.
And it just kind of was like, it disconnected from the live action that was supposed to be going on as opposed to the cartooniness that was happening on the screen. So
I completely agree.
But, I liked it. And again, it's teeing things up for the main event, which is Infinity War.
Yeah. So Infinity War is coming out in 2 days, and I've watched one trailer.
Yeah,
maybe one and a half.
I don't know. I've only seen the one.
Yeah, no, actually, I feel like didn't we watch? No, I didn't even watch the Super Bowl one. So, we've seen one trailer. We know it's a Thanos origin story. We know it's a heist movie. I know the Black Guard is in it, or whatever their name is. I think it's Black Guard. And that's it. I don't know anything else. Who dies, who lives? My bets are on Tony dying. Cap. Man, in this movie, Tony will die. I just don't know how everything's going to be.
The thing though is
Because there's 2 movies.
Yeah, he is in the next one. You
I
see
know.
him, the set pictures and everything.
Right, I know. But do they come back to life because of the time thing?
Well, all that
or
stuff,
reality,
the
or
snap,
whatever.
Everything.
Yeah.
I think it's going to end with Thanos doing that.
Do you think maybe they'll just live again, but they won't be who they were?
I don't know. That's
they could be Captain or Steve Rogers, but they don't know anything.
Bring it on. I am ready to soak it all in.
Yeah.
Speculation is ridiculous at this point because it's just
2 days.
And you just don't. You literally. For me, I don't know what's going to happen in this movie, and that's fantastic. I'm going in ready to be told a story, and I'm so excited, so excited.
It's gonna be wild. So
the culmination, the 10 years leading up to this movie.
So out of the 10 years of movies, what's your high? What's your low?
I will say that I feel like the
18 movies.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, right.
The Captain America films are a fantastic trilogy within the whole line of films, the whole series of films.
Yeah.
Those 3 films are great. Guardians 1, great. Iron Man, great. For me, Doctor Strange, great. Spider-Man, Homecoming, great. What else we got?
Yeah, I mean...
And then the rest are just fun. Fun and entertaining. Fun, entertaining, awesome. Oh, Avengers.
The first.
The first Avengers is mind-blowingly great.
I mean, I I do put Black Panther above Strange for me, but I really did love Doctor Strange. And I would still put it, like, even though I really do love that first Captain America, I mean, it's
Listen,
on the tiers.
Black Panther, you know, for everything that it's done socially,
Yeah.
the cultural significance of this movie, I'm not going to deny that. I mean, that is fantastic. It's amazing. Everything that it's doing for the world and the culture, bravo.
Yes.
But for me,
I get
it just
those
felt
CGI
like
things.
another Marvel fun superhero movie. That's it. It didn't like
Felt like a James Bond movie.
like
to me,
the
though.
yeah. There's
James
set
Bond
pieces.
stuff.
I mean, that was the best set piece in the whole movie.
The
From the
casinos.
casino to outside in the streets, the end of that scene.
Yeah.
Fantastic scene.
Yeah.
I just
Really good
I was
directing.
bummed with Claw biting the dust in this movie
I was a little like...
because I wanted that character to continue.
Yeah,
you know?
that was
The
kinda...
juicy, crazy bad dude. Like
Yeah.
I wanted that.
I don't know why they kill these people anyway. Like, it really doesn't make any sense to me. Put them in the raft and whatever other places that you guys put. You know, put them in these supermaxes so that eventually we get like a Zemo, a Thunderbolt. You know, like Zemo and all these other bad guys getting led together to fight these guys. That to me would be a good enough Avengers movie at some point.
Yeah.
Where these D villains fight these heroes. These B heroes.
I mean, I think we're gonna see
Zemo?
Red Skull again.
Ugh, I really hope so. I hope Infinity War brings some people.
On. There's some time travel going on in Infinity War.
Oh,
in
really?
These two movies, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Which I do know about.
Do you think that Michael Douglas will show up? We haven't even talked about the future, right? With
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man
which
and the
is
Wasp.
after Infinity War.
right, but I don't know when it takes place.
I mean, it's got to be before. It has to be
It
before.
has to be before. Yep.
I mean, they do show that shot in the trailer of Scott with the alarm thing around his foot.
Oh, because it's okay. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like house arrest or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would
So-
it would definitely have to be because there's two, and we know from the pictures, the Entertainment Weekly pictures, that Wasp is in the
Right.
in Infinity
Right.
War, one of those movies.
Right.
So it's
Um,
before.
So then I was gonna say, is Michael Douglas gonna show up in Captain Marvel, which is next year? Because isn't that where it
It's a
takes
90s
place
movie.
in the '90s, in the beginning of Ant-Man, where he has his face?
Well, it's
because
it's
Shield is
also-
still there, Haley Atwell's there. I
Yeah.
think it is in the '90s.
Clark Gregg is there.
Yeah.
It is in the 90s. They said it was in the 90s.
No, but I mean, like with that Shield, they didn't announce Michael Douglas, but I feel like he's one of those ones
Maybe.
that they'll throw in.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
But Infinity War is gonna be completely bonkers. Hopefully, people die left and right. I mean, I hate to
I
say
think,
it like that,
again,
but
I think we're gonna see stuff that we've never seen before, and we're probably gonna be
we're gonna see
gasping
Thanos, like,
and
pull the moon out of the sky.
screaming and creaming, and I think it's gonna be another
Charlie
one of those
Sheening.
amazing. And it was all shot on IMAX cameras, so
See this movie in IMAX.
Yeah.
See it as big as your face can take.
that's right.
Not in the front row. I beg of you. Okay, whew, we did it.
Yeah. And then Infinity War Part 2 is next year, next May.
After Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Next year we have 3. Captain Marvel, Avengers, and then Spider-Man Homecoming, whatever.
2. Yeah.
Which is the immediate result
Yeah.
of what happened
Of
from
the
these Avengers
yeah,
films.
yeah. Which is, I guess, Phase 4. Because Avengers 2 would be the end of...
Well, isn't this Phase 4, Infinity War, the beginning of Phase 4? Because last time, remember, we got Civil War at the beginning of Phase 3.
Maybe. I don't know.
I
No,
think-
'cause I think it's still part of 3. I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
Because they're not even calling it Phase 4
Oh,
or
right,
anything.
it's all different.
Who knows? But it's the start of whatever is going to be new after Avengers
happening.
4. So.
So, if you're listening to the episodes, Gourmet Scum Radio, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, but really, the majority of stuff's going to be on the hub. It's going to be on Warlock Home Video Network.
This one that you're watching right now.
I hope you're watching. So there's a subscribe button down below.
That's right.
Check that out. There is a Patreon going for the entire network, as well as a TeePublic going on for the network. And those are just really to get a better camera, the camera that we shot on,
Get us out
so
to
this
the
is a microphone.
conventions.
Yes.
You know, really help the production.
All going into the show. Get
Yep.
real lights instead of my IKEA ones. You know, great. We want
production going.
We want to get the production up. That's it.
And you
That's
can
what it's
get
for.
you know they're all in the links down in the show notes.
Yep.
You know, because we want you to go to the Facebook page. We want you to go to the Instagram and the Twitters and all that good stuff out there.
All links.
Yeah, and then you know our sister channel, Shield Maiden Heiress.
Yep.
My wife, who's running the video game thing. Check her page out as well. She'll probably have already had a video on here of us talking and everything, and so yeah, enjoy the Warlock Home Video Network.
Yeah.
All of the shows you have.
And comment.
Yes, please
Talk
talk
to
to
us.
us. Let us know what you think. Feedback.
We will talk to you.
Give us
Guarantee
your thoughts and ideas of this whole Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite television shows and comic books and whatnot?
Yeah, we want this to be, if you watched any of the introduction videos, we want this to be a very interactive and community space for geeks of any. 80s geeks, horror geeks, pop culture geeks,
Yeah.
whatever you are.
Video game.
Yes, we want all of you to come, toys, you know, we will talk. And Chris and I have a disgusting amount of knowledge. With Chris and Carrie, all four of us have way too much knowledge about pop culture and all that geeky stuff. So we will interact, we will talk, and we want this community to grow. So thank you guys.
So we did it.
That's it.
This is
100th
it.
episode!
100th episode
Woo!
of the
Thank you
podcast.
guys.
And first episode
Yes!
for the live action Gourmet Scum Radio.
Woo!
That's it. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.